What's up everyone, some guy here with another Alliance War video. Season 22, war number 6, halfway through the season. We are up against Red X. Going on path 5, our first fight here is Hitmonkey. Very common placement, I have taken him many times with Nick Fury. I think it's a pretty easy fight with Nick Fury. When you spam Fury's SP1, the Disorient debuff does shut down the protection node. So it'll just be a regular fight from there. I am boosting up a little bit bigger than usual just because I'm worried about the second fight coming up. It's going to be against Emma Frost. She is on heavy hitter, so she's going to be stun immune and you can't punish her heavy. So I was going to bring in Corvus for that fight, but I figured I might as well bring my newly ranked up Max Sigd Captain Marvel movie. Plus she's got pretty decent synergy with Nick Fury. Alright, so now that the protection is shut off, I can finally do some real damage with Nick Fury. I am going to make a mistake coming up, evading one of his SP1. Yeah, right there. I evaded. Looks like I was evading too early. I usually don't make that mistake, but I guess it happens. I think it could be PTSD from previous fights when I've dexed a little bit later than usual, and then when I went in for the punish, I got parried instead. And the next fight here is Emma Frost on Ebb and Flow, Knockdown, and Heavy Hitter. I am pretty new at using Captain Marvel movie, so I am going to make some mistakes. So going into this fight, I thought the only way to trigger armor breaks is by hitting into her or intercepting her. I didn't know you can hit into her block and also trigger armor break. It is only a 15% chance, but you can still do so. If I had known that, I would not have played so, I guess, risky by intercepting all the time. But anyway, my plan here initially was just to try and keep up my armor breaks by intercepting as many times as I can, and also baiting her specials. I wanted to block her second part of the SP1 just so I can go and punish, but it doesn't always work out to my advantage. Sometimes I will miss it. It becomes kind of annoying when she goes into stun immune and indestructible, because then I'll have to intercept her again to try and get her out of it. And I don't really do a good job of evading her SP1 as well with the inverted controls. Sometimes I'm really good, sometimes not. It's on and off. But I'm also not very good at, I guess, ramping Captain Marvel movie up as well. I didn't really want to worry too much about ramping her up because this will be my pretty much only fight with her. So I just wanted to intercept as many times as I could. And then I got parried, but luckily she didn't punish me that bad. You can see that as I'm fighting, I'm trying to figure things out. Just kind of almost doing random stuff as well. I thought about keeping my binary charges up, but at the time I was just so focused on trying to intercept her and armor break her that I didn't really think about that. Just trying to get through the fight without dying. But I still think Corvus might be a little bit easier than Captain Marvel, just because that way I can parry and armor break her on demand. And right there I missed another evade on her SP1, but it's okay, we're almost done with the fight. That's the perks of boosting up big. I can take a little bit more hits than usual. And she's down. Very sloppy fight. Took about like, what, 9 hits? No, 6 hits, but still, we got the job done. And without dying. But boosting up for my next few fights here on section 2. The first one is Killmonger. Very common placement for him on the Footloose and Kinetic Transference. But magic make this fight pretty easy. Once you throw on a advanced power boost and use her SP2 to lock down that power, then the fight should be pretty easy from there. But look at this. I'm just blocking and not doing anything, but he still threw his SP1. These AIs are so smart and advanced. I feel like they know which nodes they're on and they play accordingly to the nodes. Because sometimes when I need them to throw a special, I bait forever and they never throw it. But right there, I was just holding block and not doing anything, and he just magically threw his special. Also, I just got shallow intercepted by him there as well. And it's not the first time it's happened to me too. But from here on, it should be a pretty smooth fight. I have been practicing my light intercepts. I do think they are a lot safer than the backdraft intercepts. Just because if you, or if the AI is passive, then you only whiff an attack from where you're standing instead of dashing forward and possibly getting parried by them. And you'll see a few examples in this fight where I'll just be whiffing a light attack because the AI was being passive and not dashing towards me, like right there. But it's usually pretty safe in my opinion, because most of the time after you whiff an attack, they become still passive, but you don't want to hit into them, because I think that's when they'll actually parry you. So what you want to do is just kind of wait it out. Sometimes I dash back to kind of reset the timer for them. But yeah, other than getting shallow intercepted by him, it's a pretty smooth fight. Oh, and then right there, I started getting connection issue for some reason, and I was like, "Oh no, please don't kick me out." That's like the one of the worst ways to lose an attack bonus. But luckily, it does come through, thankfully. But I'm moving on to the next fight is Black Widow Deadly Origin. She's on Ebb and Flow Intercept. I just realized she's also an Avenger. So I think it was probably a better idea that I should have brought Corvus, so I could have taken this fight. Even if she evaded on her SP1, Corvus is immune to the shock debuff, so it would have been okay, but oh well. Throughout the fight, I kept trying to intercept her while the Disorient debuff was up to try and get rid of the Ebb and Flow protection node altogether, or hoping to, but I never found a good window to do so. And I also always try and push it to SP2, just because I feel like it pushes you less than her SP1. And I also don't punish her SP1 when she has the evade up. I'm not sure why. I definitely could have, because I have above or 5 or 6 charges. I think I was just trying to play it too safe. But because I don't shut off the protection, this fight is going to be a little bit longer than usual. But I'm not too worried because there's plenty of time on the timer. So I'm just trying to play my best. I got the intercept right at the end when it didn't matter anymore. But she goes down without too much trouble. And moving on to my last fight here is against Void on Ebb and Flow Intercept. And Redouble Determination, I was a little bit worried about that note because Nick Fury does stack up a lot of bleed and does make Void gain a lot of power. So that's what I have to juggle with, dealing with managing Void's power and his debuffs. I don't do too well of a job managing the debuffs, but I'm not too worried because I can just use a heavy, or mainly I try to use the SP1 just because there's no bleed on the SP1, so there's less power for Void. But overall, not too bad of a fight. My Nick Fury still has a second life to fall back on, plus I was boosted, so I wasn't too worried about it. Oh, except right there. I didn't know I had the agility debuff on me, so I couldn't really dex and took a big crit on his SP1. But it's okay, you know, we're Nick Fury. We can just shrug that right off. But yeah, aside from getting clipped from his SP1, everything else is pretty smooth. That is it for me from this war. I usually do take a fight or two in a mini boss island, but my champs weren't needed. Plus my battle group did a great job of clearing them. We did take the win for this war, so kudos to everybody. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.